What?
When they start talking, when the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them. I'ma beat his.
Can't do shit. Wait,
For real. Y'all better be quiet.
You've been talking since I've been baby.
And I can't wait.
I'm gonna show you.
And I'm gonna show you.
Next, I told y'all who I want to fight. I can't keep saying the same thing. I already told y'all who I want to fight. The best versus the best. That should be my next fight.
It happens now? What do you think?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it'll be your next one?
I think it could be.
Really?
I think it could be.
Gigantic.
During the Shakur Stevenson vs. Teofimo Lopez press event, tensions spilt over behind the scenes when Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis were caught in a fiery exchange. People in the area say the confrontation was sparked by talk of future plans, with Shakur confidently pressing Tank about a potential showdown if he gets through Teofimo next.
Top level, elite level fighters. So let's make boxing great again. Let's put the best fighters in the ring with each other, and let's see who come out victorious.
Since Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis established themselves as elite forces in the lightweight division, an unmistakable edge has existed between them. It goes beyond normal rivalry or professional respect. While both fighters operate at the top of a talent-packed weight class, the real tension shows in their comments, the shots they take at one another, and how their teams respond whenever they cross paths, whether that's during interviews, at press conferences, or across social media.
Contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 126.30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you're going to get hit.
For years, boxing fans have been pushing hard for a matchup between Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, viewing it as one of the most exciting fights the sport could offer. It's the classic contrast of styles, a devastating puncher famous for highlight reel knockouts against a smooth, highly intelligent boxer known for elite defense and ring control. Shakur has repeatedly made his interest clear, saying in multiple interviews that he would be willing to delay other fights if Tank agreed to step in the ring with him next, underscoring just how badly he wants this showdown to finally happen.
When was the Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he chooses that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that, and he called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left.
Shakur Stevenson has said his issues with Gervonta Tank Davis are more about mindset than personal history. He claims you can feel when another fighter truly sees you as a threat. According to Shakur, as Tank's career grew and his status increased, his attitude shifted, from brushing things off to reacting with clear hostility. Shakur believes Davis understands the reality, even if he minimizes it publicly. In his view, Tank knows Shakur represents the most dangerous challenge in that weight range, which explains why his name seems to trigger visible annoyance. Shakur sees that reaction as insecurity rather than disrespect, suggesting Tank is aware the matchup would be extremely difficult. He also highlighted the contrast in how they approach the sport, describing Tank's mentality as all or nothing, while positioning himself as someone who embraces competition and wants to prove his greatness by taking on the very best head-to-head.
Yeah, for sure.
What changed?
Competition. As you get older, you start to know what competition is, and he kind of looked at me like I feel like I was a threat, which is rightfully so. Like, I don't blame him for the way that he looked at me, but it is what it is. It's two guys that just want to be the best in our sport, and we were ready to lay it all on the line.
Did he say to you like, yo, I don't want to be friends, or we can't, or is it just like a gradual thing where it started to become more distant?
Now you just know energy. You know energy. Once you feel the energy that's coming at you, you understand like, okay, I get it.
When do you think that started to change?
I think as he kind of matured and got older. Once you get older and mature, his energy kind of let it be known like, yeah, you the ops. we gotta fight. So
And perhaps as you were progressing, and getting to the level
for
that
sure,
you're at now,
he knew exactly. Deep down inside, he could sit here and say, "I'm not this. I'm not a good fighter. I'm not that." But deep down inside, he knows that I'm the truth.
right?
So with him knowing that, he knows that I'm the biggest threat around where he's at.
Do you see he gets very upset when people ask him about you
Yeah, I think that's insecurity though. I think he's insecure.
because he knows that you give him trouble? Like, what's he insecure about in your opinion?
You with top level guys like him, cause like I'm kind of different. I look at things like competition, but like his mentality is more so like it's either me or it's nobody. It's not a 1A, 1B, or you don't have nobody equal to you. So I understand.
Despite all the discussion, Gervonta Tank Davis has largely chosen not to engage. Following recent media tours and promotional appearances, Davis has brushed off the idea of fighting Shakur Stevenson altogether, openly questioning what Stevenson has truly accomplished in the sport. He's even told reporters that he doesn't view Shakur as a priority opponent. During one press moment, when asked why the fight hasn't happened, Davis bluntly responded with comments like, "What has he done?" Instead, Tank has made it clear he's more focused on matchups with names such as Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, or Vasily Lomachenko before giving any thought to a stylistic clash with Stevenson. This public posture goes beyond simply steering clear of a difficult matchup. It comes across as a calculated dismissal that deepens the sense of tension, positioning Shakur not just as a competitor, but as someone whose credibility Davis feels compelled to challenge in front of the cameras.
Like Shakur, right? Like he look like he got skill, right? But to be honest, I'm gonna be real. I ain't see him fight nobody that's like.
That's amateur shit. Come on, bro. When that heat coming back at you, them niggas like, you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it. They ain't really, these niggas just talking that way. And it's always, oh, he can be this, he can be the next. Nigga, prove yourself. You still haven't proved yourself. When someone was in front of you that can crack a little bit.
Shakur Stevenson, on the other hand, has taken a much more direct approach. He doesn't just want the matchup, he's convinced he would come out on top if it ever materialized. For months, Stevenson has stated in interviews that he sees himself as the more complete fighter, expressing confidence that his skill set and technical precision would be enough to overcome Davis. He's also criticized Tank for being selective with opponents and fight conditions, suggesting that certain matchups are chosen to preserve an undefeated record rather than to truly test greatness. Those remarks go beyond playful trash talk. They are calculated statements meant to frame Davis as risk-averse, while positioning Stevenson as a fighter willing to face anyone to prove he belongs at the very top.
Gimmick exhibition matches like Jake Paul versus Tank Davis or Floyd versus Tyson, good or bad for the sport of boxing?
I mean, I feel like in Floyd and Tyson situation is different than Jake Paul and Buddy. I feel like with Floyd and Tyson, it's like, okay, y'all deserve it. Y'all legends, y'all paid homage, y'all did the most for the sport of boxing already. So you deserve a big payday and be cool. I'm cool with it. I like it. But with Jake and Buddy, I feel like Buddy is a participate in the sport of boxing right now, and he just came off a draw his last fight. So if you're a real champion and top level guy that you say you are, which I think you are too, I think you're the truth. But if you're that guy and you just came off a draw, I think rematching will be the most competitive thing to do. With the Jake Paul situation, it's a money grab fight. So to me, it's like some...
When Gervonta Tank Davis revealed plans to face Jake Paul, a significant portion of the boxing community responded with frustration rather than excitement. Many fans felt the decision pointed toward a safer, more profitable spectacle instead of a true competitive test against Shakur Stevenson. Across social media, the matchup was widely criticized as a celebrity-driven event rather than a serious boxing challenge, with supporters arguing that it allowed Davis to sidestep the fight the sport had been demanding. Observers also highlighted Tank's ongoing dismissal of Stevenson in interviews and his failure to ever call him out, viewing it as part of a broader pattern. To critics, the move reinforced the belief that Davis is protecting his unbeaten image by choosing lower-risk paydays over facing one of boxing's most dangerous pound-for-pound threats.
Obviously, you are a student of boxing. You love this sport. I mean, when you hear this today on social media or wherever you happen to get the news, were you like, what? Like, can that actually be, man?
Nah, I'm not shocked. I mean, his last fight when he fought Lamont, Jake Paul was at the fight. He told y'all he was going to fight somebody like Jake Paul. So I'm not shocked. It don't surprise me. So, nah.
You know, Shakur, Jake, when he fought Mike Tyson, he was 227 pounds. He was 199 and like 199 point something his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't been only boxing for a couple of years. He's 12-1. Tank Davis obviously been boxing his whole life. He's 30-0-1. He's knocked everybody out except for 3 opponents in his life. But at what point does size matter so much, though, where it can't be overcome, Shakur? And is it in this case here when you've got what is like a 70-pound difference between these two guys?
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but if I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just gonna go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ against him. So I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
Davis showed no interest in reconsidering his path. He made it clear that public opinion has no impact on how he moves or who he chooses to fight. During a promotional appearance for the bout with Paul, Tank dismissed the backlash, explaining that fans change their minds constantly and that their frustration doesn't guide his decisions. He essentially told critics to relax, enjoy the fights, and stop trying to dictate his next move.
A lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the Rhodes rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person's supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
Can we still expect to see any of those fights in the future though?
And y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. Didn't he just have a fight? And what happened? He won, right? But how you look in it? Exactly. But y'all say some different shit when it's me, right? Cause y'all want me to lose. When y'all see people in that limelight too long, they want to take that they want somebody else to come take that spot. That's why it's always like, come on, bro. That's what happened with Floyd. Y'all seen him too much, and once y'all seen him so much, y'all start hating on it. Like.
Still, before Shakur Stevenson can seriously chase a showdown with Gervonta Davis, he has an important obstacle to clear. Stevenson is set to meet Teofimo Lopez in a highly anticipated junior welterweight title fight, one he has openly welcomed as a crucial step forward in his career. Defeating Lopez would do more than add another championship to his resume. It would dramatically strengthen his standing and leverage when it comes to negotiating a future bout with Tank. Many fans and industry insiders believe that overcoming a marquee name like Lopez is the final statement Stevenson needs to make before he can rightfully claim his spot as the leading challenger for Davis, in a fight that has been discussed for years but remains unrealized.
He's a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
You know, can't take anything away from me. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world, scared to get touched up in front of the world. And
are you saying that off of the last fight or just
in general? In general.
Yeah.
In general. Me and Shakur sparred before. We did 3 rounds and it was just light work and me trying to figure out his jab. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you pass his jab, it's game.
Yeah.
It's food, it's lunch food. I am the best. I don't see no contract that says Shakur's name on there.
Yeah.
So until then, I'm gonna say and talk my stuff.
Yeah.
And if you want to come that way, then come that way. I mean, you have investors that are with you, and that's great, but they understand that they cannot have you come this way. Because I am too much of a...
Hall of Fame fighter Shane Sugar Mosley has offered a confident prediction ahead of the Shakur Stevenson vs. Teofimo Lopez title clash, sparking plenty of debate among fans. The former multi-division world champion recently shared his take on the high-level matchup scheduled for January 31, 2026, and is siding with Stevenson. Mosley acknowledged Lopez as a proven champion with strength, experience, and an impressive resume, but believes Shakur's footwork, ring intelligence, and elite defense could be the deciding factors. According to Mosley, if Stevenson dictates the tempo and keeps Lopez off balance, his technical advantages could outweigh Lopez's power and success at super lightweight. While he sees the fight as an intriguing contrast of styles, Mosley ultimately favors Shakur's pure boxing ability, even with the jump in weight and the challenge posed by Lopez's accomplishments.
If Shakur Stevenson is going to get slower moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. Shakur Stevenson has a very strong style where he can sit back and pot shot you and box and stuff like that, where Teofimo can also box and is very athletic and can get from side to side and can make things difficult for you as well. So what style is going to impose on the other is what we want to see.
So which style will impose? Is it something where like the first rounds really will dictate, or?
I think you're going to need a couple of rounds, but the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that, well, maybe, I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen or different type of fighting we haven't seen. And vice versa, you know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle that is kind of giving, you know, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see about that.
As discussions continue and fans argue back and forth, a potential clash between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis remains one of boxing's most talked about yet hardest to make fights. Stevenson has repeatedly described it as the biggest matchup in the sport, insisting it would shatter pay-per-view numbers and draw massive global attention whenever it finally happens. Still, despite his confidence and public push, the reality is that both fighters are currently moving in different directions. With Stevenson focused on strengthening his resume and Davis following his own strategic priorities, the long-awaited showdown appears to remain on hold, for now.
Gun to your head, when are we gonna see the Shakur Tanks, the Shakur Devin, the Devin Tanks?
There's only one fight that is really
the one.
That, like, if we were like gonna be for real about it, like,
keep it honest. What's the fight?
My opinion, because we talking about like skill and like boxing, like all around boxing, right?
Yeah.
Because we ain't talking about somebody that just got a good jab or what.
Yeah.
We talking about like all around.
Do everything.
Yeah, boxing.
Yeah.
Me and Tank the biggest fight.
That's the one.
It's the biggest fight in the world.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be the biggest boxing fight in the world when it happens.
Y'all. What you think? Like 147, 140?
Nah, hell no.
135?
35, 40, I don't know. I can see it happening not too far in the future.
Really?
Yeah. I think Tank will sign that contract.
Dang.
And I'm going to sign a contract.
So what's your take? If Shakur gets past Teofimo, should Gervonta Tank Davis finally agree to the fight? Or do you think he's deliberately steering clear of the matchup? Share your opinion in the comments and let the debate begin.